as you heard earlier, this kind of a program, a STEM research symposium, and the STEM research internships that feed into that symposium, it's really almost unheard of in community colleges. And so we're very, very lucky here to have this great leadership, excuse me, going all the way back 10 years, and now here we are today and seeing the fruits of that.
This internship was great. I learned so much about material sciences as well as engineering. Through this project, we were able to patent a brand new instrument. So it was a very great experience. I am very thankful for Hartnell.
We had to do research on our own. We had to go, we did a lot of things together, honestly. It was a pretty good group, and I was happy. And being the only community college student made me feel a little bit alienated at first. But I think as you get into there and you start collaborating with everybody, you just become a big family.
I think it's a unique experience just for any community college student. And it's really important for this area too, because I think it involves the students that are here with research with the local universities, and it shows them that there's a lot of applications and science type careers that are available in the local community.
The symposium today is, of course, overwhelming and exciting. All the different projects, all the different partners coming together to provide opportunities for the Hartnell students for which they wouldn't without this kind of program here.
Part of this whole robust program is to give them that experience so when they move on, they don't skip a beat. They have a sense of, it's like, I think one of the panel members said, it wasn't that you need to have you don't need to be super intentional at the time, but having a suite of experiences so you can feel that you can try some things, fall down, right? Get back up, but it's a whole sense of building your sense of self-esteem, the sense that, wow, I can bat with the best.
These internships are very, very important also because it, like Miles said, you can put it on your resume, and these things that make you shine, it's what's going to get you your scholarships, more higher internships, and even fellowships when you apply for them.
I don't think I would be where I'm at right now if it wasn't for these internships, to be honest. So go out on your own, keep looking, push forward. It's going to be definitely a hard road. It's not easy, but if you guys keep looking forward, keep pushing, you'll get where you need to be. Just never give up.
It was very inspirational, and it allowed me to have the opportunity to work with individuals in my field. And I also got a lot of support from the individuals in the program for personal resources as well as academic.
I did an internship at the Naval Postgraduate School, the Microsystems Fabrication Laboratory. My advisor, who I still have a connection with, is Dragoslav Grbovic. We developed sensors that allow you to detect terahertz radiation. That's a certain specific band in the electromagnetic radiation spectrum. And it was important for us to develop these sensors. They have applications in biological imaging and in security. The radiation is non-ionizing, so it's not like X-rays. You can see through bones and see through skin. And it also detects metal, so you can see different weapons on people. So it was important, and it was a great experience.
We climbed the trees in Kansas as well as Massachusetts for a week, like 4 trees a day, and collected everything, came back to the lab, and had to rake through after soaking the moss and lichen in some water overnight, and use what's called an Irwin loop, very needle shape, you could barely see it, and pick them up and put them on a slide. And we did about 11,000 this summer compared to previous summers where they did about 4,000 to 8,000. And because of that large amount, we're having to continue the internship during the semester there, and had to hire on some people to work.
When they do decide to transfer, if that's their what they want to do is continue after their associate's degree, then it really puts them on the same level as a university student starting at the university, and I think that's really valuable.
These types of experiences you heard in the panel, where they're kind of a springboard for them to develop their confidence, their grit, and their personality and their energy. So when they go on, they don't skip a beat.
I had the opportunity to go to UC Santa Cruz, and I was in the SRI program. I had a very fun time. I was actually with my mentor, William Sullivan, and we did a project on Wolbachia. And Wolbachia is important because it's a type of bacteria that has been in the news lately because they've been trying to infect it. They've been trying to infect mosquitoes with it because when you put it into a mosquito, it stops reproduction. And so when you put into a mosquito that carries Zika or dengue or chikungunya fever, it stops all reproduction, therefore lowering the rate of transmission.
To have a local resource of talented, skillful interns is necessary for us. And to have that with a local community college is even icing on the cake.
This is just the beginning. When I started, I did my first one at the Naval Postgraduate School, and then I went to the Center for Adaptive Optics in Santa Cruz. And what I gained from these internships was just the ability to advocate for myself and to network and knowing how to network. I mean, I landed myself a NASA internship. I landed myself an internship at the #1 cancer hospital in the U.S. by just going out of my way and emailing all the professors that did medical physics. And he emailed me back and said, hey, I Googled your name, and this is what came out. Would you like an internship here? Yeah, sure. So I did that by myself because I learned how to do that through these internships.
When I first started here at Hartnell, my goal, as soon as I realized that I wasn't going to go full-time and make it my job to be a student and transfer out, I thought I was just going to get a job and transfer, get a bachelor's degree, get a job, and that was it. But once I did this internship, it really opened my eyes and made me realize that I could do research as well, that it wasn't this thing, being a scientist in the white lab coat wasn't something that wasn't impossible for me, and so it made it seem possible, and it really did change my outlook on my future.
I mentored 3 students over the summer, and then there were 2 other students that I helped get hired for this other position, but I didn't directly mentor them the whole time. But the experience has been really great. This is the second time that I do the mentoring for a couple of interns. And I really enjoy it because I find that students get a lot of experience out of it that they can apply to the real world and like tools that they can continue to use.
There's biologists, there's engineers, mathematicians, so a lot of aspiring scientists from a lot of different fields. And they're all really eager and been enthusiastic and worked really hard all summer.
What did you do? Because everyone has your degree. Tons of people have your degree. What makes you so different? What are you interested in? What's important to you? Because I'm sorry, there's no job out there called computer engineer bachelor. That doesn't exist. What does exist is a power electronics specialist or firmware engineer. There's no firmware major, right? And so these skills you learn through internships help put you in some box of some specialty in the industry.
MPS has been with the Hartnell internship program for 10 years, since its inception. How it started at MPS was one of our faculty members connected with one of the teachers here and took on 4 students. And he was impressed with the caliber of education that they receive, the motivation that the kids come with, and the abilities that they're able to create projects such as we're seeing today.
There was a lot of prep work even before we started. And we spent a week with the lab people from CSUMB. We went over methods of sampling.
If you want to make a difference in a student's life, that you should really consider participating in an experience like this because it can really be life-changing.
I want to change the world. I want to make sure that people have nutritious, fresh food to eat, clean water, and clean air to breathe. I want to ensure that the generations that come will be able to share in the beauty that is our planet. And I want to make sure that people can still sustain growth and markets and economies. And I think that bioengineering and synthetic biology and the technologies that are being developed in my lab and others around the world are going to allow us to do those kinds of things.
Chanel Aquino. Olivia Arredondo. Elijah Bigham. Jasmine Kamba. Brian Carbonell.
Jose Andres Corozo. Guadalupe